We've been using the chat to talk about where we're coming from. Feel free if you'd like to add that, but I think we're also just about ready to kick things off to my colleague Amanda Schaefer.
Absolutely. Thanks, Heather. Well, I'm really excited to introduce our host today. Heather, as you've heard her speak earlier, Heather brings more than 30 years of experience across education, media, professional skills training, and public relations. She's been a part of Graduate School USA community since 2008, where she serves as a curriculum program manager, as well as a program manager for Executive Leadership Program for the Center of Leadership and Management. Career path is incredibly interesting. She actually began teaching at a high school in Western Kenya, and after returning to the US, she earned her master's degree in journalism. From there, she built a dual career as both a television and radio journalist and an educator, teaching writing, politics, and journalism as both the high school and university levels. In the early 2000s, Heather stepped away from broadcasting to serve as a press secretary to the mayor of Jacksonville in Florida, and later as a special projects director for the Jacksonville Super Bowl host committee. In these roles, she led major public relations and media initiatives to help elevate the city's image ahead of Super Bowl 39. We're so excited to have her leading our discussion today, so please join me in welcoming Heather.
Thank you, Amanda, very much for that kind introduction. And hello to all of you. It's good to spend a Wednesday afternoon with you. Straight up the middle of the week, everybody. We're almost there to Friday. Hang in there. Hopefully, this will be a fun time that we can spend together talking about the future, which can be shiny, and would love to talk about opportunities for all of you to grow your leadership career from aspiring to executive. Our plan for our time together this afternoon is here. We're going to talk about the why for leadership careers, talk about the executive core qualifications that form the backbone of your resume, so to speak. We'll also talk about the one of the things that I'm most involved in, the cohort leadership development programs, a fantastic opportunity that we offer all of you who are looking at or building in the process of building leadership careers. We'll look at different options for how you might find the best fit for one of these cohort programs. And at the end, I will open up for questions. So I will ask if you can hang on to your questions until the end, and then I'll make sure that we that get you answers to all of your questions. So with that, let's begin. I want to begin with actually all of you, just to get a sense of who you are and where you are in your journey. With a poll question, my first question for you is, are you currently holding a leadership position in your organization, or has anyone identified you and said that you have leadership potential? Go ahead and just click yes or no so that I can get a sense of who we all are here today. I'll give another little bit here for everyone to weigh in, and then I'll ask Shige if he can show us the answer. All right. Okay. Just a little bit over half of us are in a leadership position in your organization, and a little bit under half are not. So the good news is this applies to all of you, those of you who are already in the process of building your leadership career, and those of you who are eyeing it. And I like to start out all conversations about leadership and that thoughtful moment of where am I headed with my career? How do I intentionally build a career by looking at the why? Why do you want to lead in the first place? Simon Sinek, somebody that some you may have heard of, a leadership expert, is credited with popularizing that concept of the why. And what he says is that success comes when we wake up every day in that never-ending pursuit of why we do what we do. It's the driver. So as leaders, you want to know what your why is. It's okay if you don't know what it is yet. It's okay to be in search of it, but it is a grounding place to decide what it is that motivates you. Because as a government leader, your decisions carry consequences beyond profit. They are going to be affecting public trust, resource allocation, people's lives, and because of that responsibility, having a strong why to ground you is important. One of these days, you may be making key decisions, or maybe you already do. And those decisions, especially when made under pressure, can be inconsistent if you don't have the why. And so we begin a webinar like this, a discussion like this, because we're curious to know whether you've had that opportunity to think about it. And if so, what do you know about you? What is your motivation for cultivating a career in leadership? It's okay again if you don't know, but if you do, go ahead and answer the poll, and we'll see what people are thinking these days. Excuse me, what's on your mind while you're answering? I'll take a sip of my water here. Give it another little bit, and Shige will show us where you're all thinking about these days, where your heads are. Okay. So we have a majority of people saying all of the above, desire to improve strategic thinking, team building, problem solving skills, build a meaningful and effective career in public service, achieve the highest levels of your profession. So, more than half of you say yes to all of those. A handful of you were centered largely in one of them. And then we have some folks who are saying none of the above. So that's interesting. All of them are important parts of the puzzle that go into being a public servant, especially one that is in leadership. And so happy to see a lot of you weigh in with all of those and thinking ahead about that motivation and that why that leads to the decision to develop your leadership as you consider what your motivation is and then think about moving from motivation to action to development. You're thinking about what are the ways that we could study leadership? What are the things that we would do? In an academic consideration of learning to lead, you'll be learning about specific leadership behaviors, about current thinking from experts like Simon Sinek. But in other ways, you're really looking inward. You're thinking about yourself, self-reflection, self-awareness. What is my go-to leadership behaviors, or what are they, and what are my go-to leadership perspectives? And how can I dig in and look at them again from an academic perspective about managing conflict and taking risks, leading through change, being a good critical thinker. Where am I today, and where would I go if I could and if I chose to study leadership? At the Center for Leadership and Management, which is where I work at the graduate school, we have programs that offer training that is specifically designed to train government leaders. We help them answer all those questions that I was just talking about, speak to those motivations and to the desire to learn more specifically about all of those leaderships. We equip leadership behaviors. We equip people with opportunities for growth, as well as practical, immediately applicable skills to strengthen their leadership behaviors and their leadership mindset. We align all of our classes with these executive core qualifications that you see on the screen in front of you. And these executive core qualifications form the backbone for all of your resumes as you begin to and as you continue to build your leadership careers. You are looking to grow and enhance each of these five executive core qualifications because that's specifically what the federal government is looking for in its leadership. You are looking to grow the commitment to rule of law and principles of the American founding, driving efficiencies, merit and competence, leading people, and achieving results. If you've never seen these before, these ECQs, again, I'll say these are the specific qualifications that you are looking to grow and demonstrate proficiency in as you build your resume. And that's part of what we like to do, ensure that all of our classes are aligned with these qualifications so that you can show specifically that you have intentionally looked to enhance these behaviors, these skills. Each of the competencies or each of these qualifications has related subcompetencies. And again, every time you take one of our classes, you're getting an opportunity to dive in and think about what it means to demonstrate proficiency and learn skills to be able to do that, to demonstrate proficiency in these subcompetencies. What makes us different at the Center for Leadership and Management is that we focus on a group of leaders that carries a lot of the weight in government leadership, but is actually often overlooked by many professional skills training organizations. At graduate school, we recognize the strong need for programming that hits that sweet spot for those core management leaders. These are programs that are priced well. They offer robust, meaningful training designed to boost not just your skills, but your professional profile. We have been around for more than 30 years. We're excited to have had that kind of longevity in a dynamic professional field where that longevity isn't always guaranteed. We do staff our programs and our classes with instructors who have been where you are. They've got real world experience, and we have an amazing track record. We have graduated more than 10,000 emerging federal leaders, and it is because of our commitment to ensuring that when you choose to invest in yourself, you're doing so in a way that is immediately applicable. Like I said, you can take the lessons that you learn in an academic class and put them to use in ways that can be powerful and meaningful. We do offer individual leadership classes, but I'm here to talk mostly about our cohort leadership programs. I'm excited about them. I am the leader for one of them, the executive leadership program. But what I love about them, and the reason I love to be able to talk about them with people, is that they offer tremendous opportunities to participate in this intensive development. Again, like I said, it's a way to invest in yourself with significant payoff. We do, if you'll see in front of you, we list all four of them that we have: the Aspiring Leader Program, the New Leader Program, Executive Leadership Program, that one's mine, and the Executive Potential Program. And as you survey the brief descriptions we have of each of them on your screen here, you'll note that we have targeted them specifically for where you are in your current grading in your current GS level. And there's a little bit of overlap. So you'll see, for example, that between the Executive Leadership Program, which is intended for GS 11 through GS 13, to the Executive Potential Program, GS 13 to 15, what we're essentially saying here is that if you've been in grade for a while, for example, if you've been a GS 11 for a while and you're looking to stretch and you're looking for that next certificate that you can put on your LinkedIn profile and you want a new job and are looking to look up a little bit, maybe it's time for you to look at the Executive Leadership Program and not the New Leader Program. There is some overlap in there, and that is intended to give you those opportunities, especially when you're eyeballing that next new job and want to have something else to add to your resume to make you an even more attractive candidate. With each of these programs, we center our curriculum on assignments that intentionally blend practicality with academics. So we do use traditional study. We have you consume content like reading books or listening to TED Talks. We do have you writing very short reports, and that gives you an opportunity to expose yourself to thinking, expert research, etc., and synthesize it by writing about it and talking about it. But that kind of activity we know isn't enough by itself. And so cohort students benefit because we give you ways to apply your learning immediately from the content and from the classes in real world situations. We use experiential learning to create those opportunities. We give you classes in leading through change, public speaking. You also get an opportunity to do team projects, and all of it is geared toward that concept of experiential learning. If you do things hands-on, you learn it in a stronger way. And we also provide capstone project opportunities that are immersive, that allow you to start building networks as well with your teams. These are communities that you build during our cohorts that many of our cohorts stick with for the rest of their careers. Their touchstones, their opportunities for growth, and friends, just people that you know since the early days of building and creating your leadership career. We think about our programs as being designed from a holistic approach to leadership development because we draw on assessment tools. We give you assessment tools that give you a chance to look inward, assessing what you know, what you do well, where are your opportunities for growth, and then helping you create a program that targets those opportunities for growth, that gives you activities that can develop them, again, through that experiential learning. What we understand is that that kind of learning fosters a deeper understanding and also deepens your engagement when you know that you're not just sitting there writing a paper, but you're participating in activities that introduce you to people, that give you hands-on learning experience, and make you ready to hit the ground running with a new job when you are able to show that, hey, not only have I studied these kinds of concepts, but I have applied them in actual exercises and in detailed assignments. It's a busy time, I'll be honest. I'll be transparent. When you're in one of our cohorts, you're busy. That said, we recognize that we have to make sure you are able to invest in yourself, but also manage to keep up with the rest of your life. Work-life balance is important to us at the graduate school, and we want to make sure that when you are finding ways to grow yourself, your talents, your abilities, give yourself opportunities to grow within the federal government and be a good public service. It's not coming at the cost of the rest of your life. We want to make sure that the kind of time commitment you make for yourself is not something that makes it impossible for you to do your job or be present for your family. So we work with you very intentionally to make sure that those time commitments are achievable. So I want to give you a little bit of a deeper look at each of the programs we offer, or cohort programs, I should say, beginning with the Aspiring Leader Program, which is dipping the toe into leadership as a career. That is up to GS7. Anybody who has had a chance to think about or has been identified as being someone who can be part of the succession planning that is so important for consistent public service. Having a succession of leaders begins right here at the Aspiring Leader Program. It's a 6-week program. It's quick. We've got 2 one-week sessions we ask you to attend. Those are virtual. We set the stage for career growth, and we provide some beginning leadership skills for long-term success. The theme for the Aspiring Leader Program is Foundations of Leadership. In this program, we provide those foundations by having you draft your own professional narrative, by starting to think deeper about what is it that you want from a leadership career, what kind of a blueprint could you craft for yourself about next steps in the short term, and next steps in the long term. That career blueprint is terrific because it's actually an evergreen document. You can continue to evolve it as you build your career. Some of the activities involve creating your own reflection of your time in the program and presenting it, giving you some practical experience at public speaking, and doing some interviews with people who are higher grades than you, and giving you an opportunity to start creating the contacts that become your network as you grow in your career. For those folks who are between a GS 7 to 11, the new leader program is a great opportunity. It's longer, it's 6 months, which means you've got 3 1-week sessions. And these sessions are developed with the theme of leading self in mind. So you're going to be doing some self reflection by using these tools, assessment tools, primarily the leadership effectiveness inventory, which gives you feedback, literally a 360 of feedback from people that you work with, people who may be reporting to you, colleagues, peers, people to whom you report. Getting a snapshot of who you are as an employee, what your strengths are, and what your areas for growth could be. We let you take a look at your Myers-Briggs personality type, your conflict, the way you deal with conflict. And you begin taking that information that you learn from those assessment tools and creating a growth plan for yourself. The NLP is two-pronged. We have you in teams where you get a chance to do a team project and work with a team the whole time you're in the NLP. And you're also doing some individual personal development work, starting with an action plan that identifies areas for personal growth. And again, blending that academic approach where you're reading or listening about leadership and then writing some reports, short reports, again, always keeping that work-life balance in mind, but also doing some experiential learning, getting a chance to do a developmental assignment that would let you dip your toe into possibly the kind of job you'd like to have one day. It's a short commitment. You are sponsored by somebody who lets you step into this role for a short time, experience it, learn a little bit about it, and consider what kinds of things you worked for you about it and how you might start applying what you're learning to a position like that. The executive leadership program kicks things up just another notch. This is for the GS 11 to 13. Now you're in a 9 month program. So this is 4 1-week sessions. Actually, the last session's a little bit shorter. It's not 5 days, it's just 4 days. And the theme for the ELP is leading people. So if you are a non-supervisor, maybe you're already a supervisor with minimal experience in a dynamic environment like we've been in. Maybe you've been a supervisor, but you're not currently one now. Anyone within that variety of possibilities of jobs, this program is for you. We design this for people who want to really build that professional profile that includes not just your technical expertise at your job, but also that broader sense now, especially going back to those executive core qualifications I talked about at the beginning of our webinar, wanting to grow your proficiency in those ECQs. This program allows you to start really building out that resume that shows you've studied, you've practiced, you've considered, you've worked on showing the proficiency in not just the qualifications, but the subcompetencies that describe each of those qualifications. So here you get the skills, the experience, you're using these self-assessment tools. Again, another shot at that LEI, getting feedback from everyone you work with in your circle, conflict management, personality inventory as well. Also, with the ELP, you're in a team. These teams are terrific. Not only are you getting to build community with people who are in the same space in your leadership growth as you, making friends, forming these strong bonds, but you're also rotating the opportunity to be team lead. So you are in a leadership position for a period of time during your ELP experience and writing about it and getting a chance to apply some of the learning about leadership mindset and the different kinds of leaders and philosophies that accompany leadership. You get to do that in a practical way. And you're doing these individual projects as well. We have you find a mentor who can work with you. These mentors have proven to be terrific, terrific relationships, connections that people form, many of which last beyond the ELP. You create a leadership development plan that again identifies areas for growth that you can focus on throughout the 9 months in the ELP. You'll be interviewing executives and shadowing them. You get a chance to do a 6 week developmental or stretch assignment. So, those assignments either you can take outside of your office if those opportunities exist. For some people, it's not possible to leave the office because things are pretty tight in terms of covering up and covering down and very busy workloads. If that describes you, you are still able to do an assignment like that. We ask you to find something for a 6 week period of time within your office that just allows you the chance to stretch. Again, looking at how you can apply the things you're reading about, talking about, learning about in class to real world experiences that make you a stronger candidate for that next job that you might be eyeballing. And then we come to the executive potential program. That's the highest level of them. That's GS 13 through 15. Again, if you are a GS 13 now and you have been in grade for a while, you're looking to stretch, you could do the ELP or you could stretch up and do the EPP. The theme for this one is leading change, and this is the longest of our programs. It's a full, really amazing year that you spend with this cohort. Once again, giving you a chance to look at those LEI inventories, getting feedback from people. We do with this also have a team-based approach with a team project. You also have a team book that you present on. Once again, creating those really strong bonds within the team that create not just a capstone project that is the result of a year-long intensive work together, but creating that community, those connections that last you for the rest of your career, doing that in concert, excuse me, with creating that roadmap for yourself, your leadership development plan, interviewing executives, shadowing executives. Once again, a developmental or a stretch assignment in the EPP. That detail will be 8 weeks instead of the 6 weeks for the ELP. So, with each of these programs, you've noticed we kick it up a notch within the length of the program itself and also the assignments. So it does get more intense, and that matches where you are in your leadership journey. The higher up you get, the more intense your need for learning and development and being able to apply skills at a deeper level, more meaningful level. And we try to meet you where you are with the programs that we have with each of these. So the opportunities, of course, are endless. I love the opportunity that I get with ELP, and I dip my toe into the others as well, teaching classes and getting to see the lights turn on as you're thinking about these concepts that you may not get a chance to really think about day to day. You're getting the work done, you're pushing the ball down the field a little bit. This gives you a chance to sit back and think and talk and explore concepts and build your own capacity and proficiency, and get a chance really to get those hands-on opportunities, learning in class and going out to the job and showing that not only have you taken the time to invest yourself, but you've brought these skills back so that your agency, your organization wins from that time invested as well. I do want to know we have these 4 programs that I've just shown you and talked to you about, but we actually also create custom cohorts for agencies. We actually did one once for TSA. We can run private cohorts for groups. So if you're sitting there thinking about those four that I just showed you, but thinking, maybe we've got slight variations in our needs within our agency, so I don't know if that would fit. We're here to find a way to help you make it fit. So please think about that as an option as well, if those are some of the thoughts that have run through your mind. Um, I love the opportunity to just highlight some of the amazing results we've had from these programs. We every now and then get a chance to survey what our previous customers have to say and what their experiences have been. And we've noted that 86% of the people who have responded from our new leader program have seen growth in their career. They've had promotions, and 100% of the folks who responded from ELP and EPP have seen promotions. I've seen it myself. I love the chance at our graduations where I get a chance to talk about individual people who have been promoted while they were in the ELP because of their opportunities to use that study and the contacts they've made during the programs to make themselves available for those promotions. Some of the students who have shared their experiences with us were here. Note Timothy Jones at DHS has said that he was able to bring out qualities that maybe he already had, but they had gone dormant and they get reactivated because of the chance that they have to think about things, talk about them, apply, get a chance to work with other people to see what they can relearn about themselves or enhance about themselves. So in some cases, it's not necessarily we're teaching you a brand new thing, it's enhancing what you already know, bringing it back to light, giving you new ways to think about it. We have these fantastic testimonials that we get from people who say that their agencies benefit from their completing programs because they return to their jobs reinvigorated. They have renewed commitment. The opportunities to network cross-agency with other people, that definitely facilitates cross-agency cooperation, multi-agency cooperation. The ELP brings out qualities, as we noted with that other person who had said that these were qualities that had gone dormant. EPP provided a foundation for the next stage in the leadership journey. We see those kinds of comments again and again about the benefits personally, the benefits professionally, those opportunities for self-reflection that you can apply across the board and bring back to your job and to future jobs you might hold. So I'm hoping that I'm whetting your appetite for considering some of these programs. I wanted to let you know that we're actually beginning cohorts for many of these programs coming up pretty quickly. So if any of these feel like a great fit for you, consider looking into it. Our next new leader cohort begins in May. May 11th to May 15th is week one. If that's a little bit too soon for you, you might look at NLP that begins in August. But we do, again, for this, we have these 3 sessions that are spaced out so that you can plan your time to be able to attend those classes. The ELP also has a cohort that's beginning. I'll be introducing our newest ELP cohort to our program starting on May 4th, just a couple weeks from now. And there's still time. So it is coming right up, but you can still sign up for ELP if that sounds like a good fit for you. We'll give you ways to contact us so that you can sign up for that at the end of class today. And if May is a little bit too soon for you, we're also starting in September, so there's definitely time to sign up for that one as well. And EPP coming up as well with the May 11 through 15 first launch with 4 sessions sprinkled throughout the year. And then we've got the EPP starting in September as well, and noting that this has the 4-week sessions. All of these are virtual. All of these are thoughtfully designed with classes that are specifically aligned to those ECQs I mentioned, and to the opportunity to develop in academic and practical ways all of those subcompetencies. So that's a lot about those different cohorts. I am excited to see what kinds of questions you might have. And as you begin thinking about the questions you have, I do want to make sure I pop up that slide that has more information, contacting us to make sure that we can get you scheduled for any one of those programs that may feel like it's a good fit and a good next step in your leadership journey. So, with that, let me open it up to questions. I'll look here for the Q&A as well. And I wouldn't mind if you unmuted, if you want to use your raise hand function. That way we can see uh, whether you would like to raise your hand and ask a question. One of the questions that I get frequently is about the opportunities for people who live outside of the country. I got a chance to get to know some of you in the chat, just where you're coming from, and noted that everyone is basically within CONUS. We had someone from Puerto Rico as well. I have had cohorts in the ELP who came to us all the way from Azerbaijan and also from Germany. So we are thoughtful in the way that we create teams so that we accommodate for those time zones. But we definitely want to make sure that we're clear that people can join us from wherever you are. You don't have to just be here in the United States. And I'm seeing a class about the minimum class cohort size for custom or private cohorts. So we do like to have enough people that we can form more than one team. The team experience is as important to the overall experience of being in these cohorts as the individual work. So I would hesitate to say there is a flat minimum. We don't have a standard minimum, but we would encourage you to have enough in your cohort to be able to have at least two teams so that you can come together as a whole cohort in your classes, but then also break up into these two teams. So, if I had to guesstimate, I would say roughly maybe uh, 10, maybe even 15 would be better. The director for the Center of Leadership and Management is Amanda Alter, and she is here with us today, actually. So I'll bounce that off of her as well. Amanda, if you have any thoughts about the minimum number, that would be something we would.
Thanks, Heather. Sorry, my video wouldn't go on, but we have a cohort running right now with 8 students. So we have 2 teams of 4. So um, that's probably about the minimum. It's nice, like Heather said, it's really nice to have, like, the team experience is such a big part of the cohort experience. It's really nice to be able to have more than one team. So I would say 6 to 8, very, very minimum, but the 10 to 15 would be ideal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we hear again and again just how valuable, thank you, Amanda, for that, how valuable that team experience is. As much as people like the opportunity to do things like interview executives and definitely do those developmental details, we hear consistently that our teams continue to be in contact with each other for years after their experience in the ELP. We're getting some questions about the costs of attending NLP and the costs in participating in the cohort class. And we can put those costs up in the chat. Let's see, I can put those here in my answer. I'm just going to go ahead and answer this one live well, I was going to try to do it in the Q&A, but I can just say it out loud. The NLP currently is $4,175 per student. So agencies will typically send us anywhere from 10 to 20 students with that rate. That was the NLP cost so that answered, I think, both Edward and J.M. Fry's question about the NLP. So the ELPs and ELP cost and EPP cost are a little bit more because they are longer, of course. The ELP is that 9-month program. So that one comes in at $5,975 per student, and the EPP is $8,350 per student. So always, again, accommodating for the longer time frame there. The EPP is that 1 year program that we talked about. And Shige has put those costs as well in the chat. And if I guess we can, yeah, we can keep that in the chat. I wasn't sure if I could put that also in the, oops.
Something else, Heather, if I could just add to note,
Yeah.
is when an agency sends five or more to the same program, five or more participants, there is a substantial discount. And when we are running custom programs, our costs are a little bit different. We would have to work directly with you. And all the costs are in the chat, as Heather mentioned.
Thank you. Thank you for putting those in, Amanda and Shige. Yeah, we had we've got a hand up from Edward. Go ahead. And I have one from Melanie as well. So Edward first unmute and then Melanie. Edward, I see that you're unmuted, but I'm not getting any audio
Um,
from you. Oh, there you are.
can you hear me now?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, my question about costs was answered.
Okay.
So I put that into the chat. So thank you very much.
Okay. Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Melanie, yes.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry, I didn't raise my hand. I don't know what happened. It was a glitch,
Oh,
but great information. Thank you.
okay. All right. No worries. Okay. I guess Zoom just wanted me to get a chance to hear your voice. So thank you. I appreciate that. Um, One of the things that we do that I appreciate, especially when we're thinking about that option of the cohorts, the customized cohorts, I mentioned earlier we had a chance to do something that was specific for TSA, and that was a really meaningful experience for the folks that worked with us from TSA because everybody was in the same community already. And while we love the opportunity to introduce different communities to each other, there is also value in everybody sort of speaking the same language, so to speak. You all do the same thing, you understand the same challenges, you are aligned with the same mission and vision, and that provides opportunities to dig in deeper. And we certainly did that, and we really enjoyed that time that we spent. It was a pretty big cohort, as a matter of fact. We ended up having two different program leaders for that cohort. We were talking about minimum numbers. I don't think there's a maximum number. We flex to meet whatever it is you need, but that particular one was just extraordinary, and we saw lots of promotions that happened during that time. That was really exciting opportunities for people that were coming to the program from all across the board, people who had been identified for leadership potential and placed in that program by people who really believed in them and believed that with an opportunity to structure their leadership journey a little bit, they would be able to go far. We also had a handful of people in that particular program who had pivoted midlife. They had retired from one career and then come to their time in public service in the federal government with another career completely developed and brought those skills, those perspectives to this program, and it really added a lot. So it was a really interesting time. We spent several months together. I believe that was, gosh, Amanda, can you help me remember how long that was? Was that a 6 month program that we did with TSA?
So we did a variation of our ALP, which was a 2 month. We spanned it over about 2 months. We also did the 6 month NLP like program because they customized a lot of elements,
Yeah.
and it was highly successful and a joy to watch. There's participants, many who had never received formal leadership development training before, really relished the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fantastic. I was lucky enough to get to be one of the managers for one of the bigger cohorts, and there's just so much joy in watching people, literally watching it happen over the course of that time, having the work that they put into learning and developing and experiencing actually literally develop into a brand new job and ways that they can carry that learning forward. So it's one of the things that brings joy to this job and to opportunities for other people as well. One of the things that people often ask me about the team project and what that's all about. The teams will begin the time in the program, whether it's NLP, ELP, or EPP, just getting to know each other. They uh, create fun stuff, a profile of who they are. They come up with slogans and a team name, a team song. They just sort of start building community by uh, having shared product that is the first way they can collaborate. One of the things that we know about building community within new teams and building the kind of work environment that results in strong collaboration is that it's important to do more than just have an icebreaker. We could put these teams into their very first meeting together and just say, okay, get to know each other, find 5 things you have in common. But if we give them a project right away, if we say, come up with your team name and come up with your motto and maybe pick a song that is your team song, that's actually giving them a small, sort of low stakes project that allows them to get to know each other for sure. It acts as an icebreaker, starts building community, provides a little bit of fun as they debate things like what should our motto be or our song or all of those things. But in the end, they have a product. And that product begins to define them as a team, has provided some fun, and creates an environment that sets the stage for all of that collaboration that happens for the rest of the program. Things get a little bit more serious, and it's not really that serious, but they do choose a project. They get a chance to research a topic that they agree on that they will ultimately get to present on. This is specifically with ELP I'm talking about now. And they divvy up all of the research duties amongst themselves. And it sounds like a lot, except that it's stretched out over 9 months. And so the commitment isn't like you're, back in school when you were going to the library every day after class. You do have regular meetings with your team. You do research. We give you some time in class to work on these things as well. The research you're still doing on your own, but we do give you some time in class. And in the end, what you come up with is a product that has touched on a lot of different elements of what it means to be a leader today in the 21st century federal government. You know more about the issues facing government leaders. You know more about the ways that government leaders are effectively dealing with those issues. You have practiced your ability to lead and collaborate in teams, to present information in a cogent, coherent, complete way. So the benefits of those team projects are endless, but they begin with that fun and that entry point to good collaboration. All right, I am checking over here to see if we've got any more questions in the Q&A and any more hands up. Edward, your hand is up again. I'm not sure if that's left over from before or if you had a new question. All right, it's down. All right. I think that was left over from before. Zoom playing tricks on us again. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate your joining me here for this webinar. I hope that I have sparked some thought in you about whether it's time to start taking your journey to the next level, whether it is creating opportunities within your cohort or within your organization for a private cohort, or joining us in one of these 4 cohort programs I talked about. Would love to see some of your faces join us in any of these that are starting in May. Doesn't take a lot to get yourself involved. Just reach out to us and we can start talking about it. Oh, I've got a hand up here from B. Serrano. Yes. Did you have a question? Not sure whether you have been able to unmute. Standing by. If for some reason you're having challenges with audio, you could try the Q&A or the chat if you like. I don't know if the chat is open, but the Q&A is. Okay. All right. We may be having challenges with that. So please feel free to shoot us an email if you like, or check out the information that we have here on our information slide that I still have up. Reach out to us via phone if you like. But again, I do encourage you all to invest in yourself in any way that you do it. We are always looking for dedicated, thoughtful, intelligent public servants in the federal government. Those of us who are the client, the taxpayer here, always eager to know that we've got folks who are invested in creating a succession of leaders for the federal government that will continue the mission and the vision on behalf of the United States. And I thank you all for what you do every day on behalf of the United States government. I'm grateful for your service. So for all of us at the graduate school, I thank you and I hope you have a great rest of your day and great rest of your week. Thanks, everyone.